video, we're going to discuss ways that you can lower your monthly payment on your property. Let's talk about it. Maybe you bought a home 3, 5, 7 years ago and you're tired of that monthly payment. You're trying to lower the payment monthly. How can I help you? We're gonna find out today. Maybe you're trying to find a traditional way to lower the monthly payment that involves a lender. Maybe you're trying to find an unorthodox way, like me, and you're just trying to find a way legally to lower your monthly payment. Well, how do we do it? We're gonna find out a couple of ways traditionally and also non-traditional, and that way you can start today on lowering that monthly payment so you can maybe save some money for your family, maybe for other expenses that you need in your life. But before we start, I would love for you to please like and subscribe. Also comment below on other video topics you would like me to discuss in the future, whether you're looking to buy properties, whether you want to help yourself with your own business. I'm here to help you at the end of the day. So again, thank you for watching and let's enjoy the show. Now, the first way to lower your monthly payment on your house is to refinance for a new loan on your property. Let's talk about it. This is a very traditional way. So let's just get right into it. And it's not a bad way, but there are some things that you need to know about refinancing. Now, first and foremost, okay, what's a refinance? Now, when you refinance a loan on your property, you are getting a new loan when you refinance. So let's say you bought the house 3, 5 years ago, you got a loan at that time. Most likely it was a 30-year loan. When you do a refinance, you are getting a brand new loan, but you're getting brand new terms, which includes hopefully a lower interest rate. Now, when you refinance, you don't want to refinance to get a higher interest rate than what you currently have. That's like what? The reason why you want to do a refinance is to get a lower interest rate. How do you do that? Well, you would definitely want to check the market and just see where the average interest rates are right now. Maybe call your lender that you trust or the loan officer who helped you buy a property and be like, hey, can you help me? I get an idea where I could get a interest rate at if I refinance. They'll tell you what the average interest rates are at the time. Say you bought a property 5 years ago and your interest rate is 5% and you could potentially refinance to a 3.5% rate. Well, you're most likely going to save a couple of $100. But what if it's $80, $90? You're going to be happy that you could, save some money if you're able to refinance and get a lower rate. Now, we have to remember, as I mentioned just a few seconds ago, when you get a refinance on your property and you start that process, you are essentially, you are getting a new loan. So you're not going to start at the time that you got that refinance. You're going to start all the way back to year one on the new loan that you have. I know that's not fun, but I mean, not everything is fun. You can't have it all your way. I know. All that being said, though, it's still a good opportunity to refinance if it's worth it. Again, if the rates on average are lower than what your current interest rate is. But like I said, if you do a refinance, just be clear that you're starting a whole new loan. So you may have to go back to year one when you were on year 7 and you got 23 years to go. Well, do a new loan on a refinance and you're back to year 1. You got 29 years to go if you have a 30-year loan. The only way that you could avoid this as far as going back to year 1 on a 30-year loan when you refinance is to do a 15-year loan when you refinance. Now, girl, let me tell you though, if you don't have the capital or the down payment or the money, I should say, in your bank account to handle a 15-year loan, don't do a 15-year loan, because if you don't have enough money to pay off your property in 15 years, that's not going to be helpful for you. So just be careful and mindful, I should say, about the type of loan that you're going to be getting, because obviously the 30-year loan is the easiest one to do on a refinance. But again, if you do a new loan refinancing, you are going to have to start that period over. But if the benefit is that you get to get a lower rate and you save some money on your monthly payment, well, then that's what we were doing it for. So we love it. We're doing good. Check in with your lender to make sure it's the right thing to do. You have to make sure that you have enough equity in your property, of course. So talk to your loan officer that you trust and see if you can start the refinance process today. Now, a second way to reduce your monthly payment on your house is to eliminate the premium mortgage insurance that you have on your loan. Oh yes. Now, if you are an average home buyer, you're probably not putting 20% down on your property. Like me, I didn't put 20% down, so I have what's called a PMI. Now, if you have a PMI, like I said, you're buying the property with less than 20% down, and you're gonna have an additional insurance that you have to pay on your monthly mortgage. This PMI can last for 5 years, maybe 3 years, but typically more than 5, 7+ years on your loan. So, that could be about anywhere from $90, $100, $200 additional that you have to pay because you had to buy the property with less than 20% down. It's not fair right? But it's the way that we have to, buy these properties. And there are ways that you can reduce that PMI or eliminate. Say you're in a position where you refinance and you have a conventional loan, or let's say you have an FHA loan. As long as you refinance into a new conventional loan, okay? When you do a new conventional loan after you refinance, you will have an opportunity most likely to eliminate that PMI. So remember, get a new loan and have it conventional. When you refinance, you'll have an opportunity to eliminate that PMI. You just want to double check with your lender or your loan officer, whoever is the person that does the refinance for you, to see if you can even eliminate the PMI. Because remember, there are some rules and there's guidelines for every file. Every person has a different scenario. But in a lot of cases, if you are able to refinance into a conventional loan, you can find a way to eliminate that PMI that I'm talking about, and that could save you, again, a couple of $100s. For me personally, I have my condo in San Diego, and my PMI is not that high. So you may not save a lot of money. In my scenario, I only pay $80 on my PMI. I put down almost 7-8%, as much as I could, to make sure that my PMI was as low as possible. But I didn't have no 20%, and even if I did, that's a lot of money for a down payment. So for me personally, I feel comfortable with my PMI so far because it's not over $100. I feel like I can manage it. But yeah, eventually if I want to maybe switch over to a new loan, if I have a refinance, because my rate on that condo is over 4%, maybe I can eliminate my PMI when I decide to get a new loan. I don't know if I want to refinance yet though, so that's like up in the air. But as you can see, that's an option for you, for me, for anybody. If you're able to do a refinance and go into a conventional loan, check in with your loan officer to see if you can eliminate the PMI from your original loan, and that way you can save a couple $100s on your payment when you have that refinance. Now, a third way to reduce your monthly payment on your property is to rent out the vacant rooms that you don't use in your house. I know it seems a little scary and a little invasive of privacy when you have just like a bunch of people in your house that you don't know. Well, obviously you want to rent out to people that you trust, that you know, that will be able to pay monthly for the room that you're renting out. If you're in Southern California, because I am, I'm pretty sure all over California, renting out a room is not that, cheap. I mean, sometimes you can rent out a room for $500, but the average going rate for a room out here in Southern California could be $700. So imagine if you're the homeowner of your property, right? And you're able to rent out your vacant rooms. Well, here we go. Now you have a payment, let's just say, of $3,000. Now you are trying to reduce your payments by at least, $1,000. You rent out one room for $700, the other room for $700. Now you're getting $1,400 a month in income. So that's pretty good because you're renting out both rooms at $700 a piece. Now go back to your mortgage at $3,000. Oh my God. Now, if you have that mortgage of $3,000 and then you have a monthly income of $1,400 coming in from two renters renting out the rooms, okay, you're only going to be paying $1,600 a month for your $3,000 payment. Now you don't have to go to $3,000, you're paying $1,600 and two other people are bringing in $1,400 for your property. That's really good. And the good thing too, depending on the state that you're in, there are a lot of common things called ADUs in Southern California, which is like a separate dwelling unit or an attached dwelling unit to your property. Sometimes it could be a garage, it could be like a shed, and you can convert it into a studio at very minimal cost. That could also be a factor where you could rent out maybe your separate garage area, your shed area, you make it into a room with a bathroom. Oh my God, there you go. There's another avenue where you can rent out a part of your property. Maybe it's not a part of your home, but it's on the side of your yard. Maybe you feel a lot better with that scenario. But you again want to double check on the laws, the regulations in your city, your state, before you do any add-ons with ADUs or building a shed, garage of some sort to convert it into a studio. Now, another way to rent out your property and to reduce the monthly payment is to Airbnb or Vrbo your property. Put it on a vacation website. I don't know if that's how you say Vrbo, whatever, but you get it, right? If you're able to put your house on Airbnb before, obviously check in with the city, the state that you're in before you do all that with your house. But if you're able to do it, there is a good chance that you're going to make not only your mortgage payment back in full, but you might even make profit doing the Airbnb method. If you're able to put your house on Airbnb, you may realize you don't even have to rent out your property for the whole 30 days. You can rent out your entire home for maybe 7 days the entire month, especially if you only live here part-time. Let's say you're like me and you go to a different city a lot to visit your family. If you're not here that much and you can not be here for the entire time, get an entire family to just rent out your property for 7 days on Airbnb. Now, why do you do that? Does that even make sense? Am I gonna make any money? Am I gonna make my mortgage back for the monthly bill? Like, how does this work? I'm charging a hotel rate. So you can charge nightly. You don't have to charge a week. You don't have to charge a month rate. You can charge per day doing a vacation rental website, especially with Airbnb. For example, with my property, my house here, I have a mortgage of about $1,800 on my property here. So with that being said, if I'm able to rent out my Airbnb house here in Palm Springs for $300 a night, okay, multiply that with 7 days. Let's just say I only want to rent out my place for 7 days on Airbnb for the month, okay? $300 times 7 days, and you're gonna get $2,100. You may get more just for those 7 days on Airbnb if you charge a cleaning fee anywhere from $200, $300, maybe $400. You charge that to the person who's renting out your house for that Airbnb. Maybe it's a one person, 2 people, or a family. Depending on the house rules that you make for your Airbnb, because you can make rules on the requirements that you have on guests when they visit your house. You can do all of that. You are able to make some quick money putting your house on a vacation rental website in only 7 days. So remember, if my mortgage is only $1,800 and I'm telling you at $300 a night, I rent it out for 7 days out of the month, I already made my profit and I paid off my monthly bill for my mortgage. I mean, that's pretty awesome right there. Maybe you're not making a buckload of profit in the beginning, but if you're making profit or even breaking even, now you don't have to worry about paying for your monthly mortgage for that month, maybe for the next 3 or 4 months. Airbnb, Vrbo, they're not like solid sources of income by any means. So you don't want to just rely on it like, 100%. But again, if you're in a hot area where there are a lot of tourists, there's a lot of visitors like Palm Springs, San Diego, Los Angeles, you name it, you're going to be able to find that renting out your home, if you have the rights to do so in your city or your state, you could make some quick money and feel a lot less pressure on paying your bill for the month. So I would definitely advise that you go check on Airbnb's website, look at the rules and guidelines, and also just check in your own city. Type in your city where you live in, and then look at Airbnb rules and regulations. I'm sure you're gonna get a lot of information. I have my own rules and regulations here in Palm Springs, which is why it's taking me a little bit longer than I expected. I'm a little impatient, but it is what it is. I want to do it right, so you should definitely do it right as well, but go as you please, right? So if you found any of my video topics helpful today on how to lower your payment per month, please like the video before leaving and share this with somebody that you know who's looking for some good real estate advice or how to build up their career, their business, you name it. Thank you again for watching, and again, tune into next week. We will have more videos for you. Have an amazing rest of your day.